This right here, we going back, way back in the town. No, baby, no. Okay, I'm just playing. I mean, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that for y'all. What it is, guys? It is. Ooh, that's a. I'm doing all my little heavy shows. What is going on, y'all? It is your boy Cold Train. I went back about 6-7 years right there with that one, but we ain't do that here today. We're going back to the old school, the hat on today. We got the old school intro. Just taking it back because this is the brand new series called CTP Universe Mode Lore. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be here today talking about all of the lore within the CTP series with WrestleMania coming up. Shout outs to J&W Boss for the great idea. We are going to be making this. This will be the YouTube exclusive series, while CTP canceled will be the podcast exclusive. If you want to hear about canceled stories from the CTP series, you must listen to us on Anchor. We're trying to grow the podcast, trying to grow Spotify. So please check out those episodes when they drop. I will notify you on my social media and Discord. Before we get into this video, if you guys do not follow me on all of my social medias, they will be linked in the pinned comment down below. Please follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat if you have it, Discord. The best way to communicate with me is through social media platforms. I'm on them pretty much every single day, constantly, because I am a social media manager. I do work. That's my job. One of my jobs, I have uh, uh, multiple things I do now these days, because of school being busy, and life is moving direction in the tech industry. So please, I'm on social media every single day. You guys do not follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. Follow me there so you guys do not miss any updates when it comes to the CTP product, YouTube products, as in Deshaun Train and in Cold Train videos. So yes, we're taking it back to the old school hat on today. We got the button down. You know, we're going back to those times when I was doing those face-to-face videos. Today's video is going to be about the lore of Batista and Bayley. Now, a lot of you guys was not around when the Batista and Bayley era of CTP happened. This was between the ending of season 5 into season 6 of the entirety of season 6 was the Batista and Bayley era. Batista rise in CTP really started back at the beginning, whenever he was first debuted in the series, but he really did not do that much. But in season 6, I was stuck. I'm gonna talk about Batista first, and we talk about the lore with him. I was stuck, and this was the rise of Batista because I had got stuck. I booked myself in the corner at Mega Main Event Reunion. That show was supposed to. I don't know why YouTube deleted that show. It's not on YouTube anymore, unfortunately. But you can find the promos from that show, and you can find the post shows from that show afterwards. And J&W Boss, shout out to J&W Boss once again. He gave me the idea of bringing back Batista and putting him in a prominent role here in CTP. And that is when he was that is how we had the rise of him, and he was able to win the WWE Championship and had that incredible WWE title reign. I absolutely adored the Batista era of CTP because it was my most creative. Same with Bayley and the greatest woman of all time. Um, it was the most fun I've ever had booking. Yeah, I look back on it and say that there were some questionable things that happened, some questionable feuds, some questionable booking, such as Batista been holding the championship for so long, and having with the person he lost to, and how the context that happened, and how the title really hot potato towards the ending of the season 6, which is my fault. That's my fault in booking. But I mean, it's the most creative thing happened. I mean, we would have never got the Lace Tista things and him having the album and the Animal Coin bit that came from NXT Takeover London. None of that would have happened if it wasn't for the rise of Batista in season 6. And you gotta attribute that to the fans. You guys really got behind Batista in season 6, and I was just so appreciative of the time period that we were in. Two of the best heels I've ever booked in Batista and Bayley, you guys bought into their stories. And with Bayley and the greatest woman of all time, I turned Bayley heel because I was sick of her smiling on in real life and back in 2018, 2019. I was sick of the babyface Bayley on TV, and I wanted something different. I wanted to do something where I could make Bayley creative and I can make Bayley mean something, and I can make Bayley express herself. So that's when I made the push. That's when I made the thing to make Bayley a heel. And at first, it was a hard thing to adjust to, especially with getting the theme song and all, and the character, and getting the entrance and the motion down, the production. And I concepted, if Bayley was going to be a heel, she was going to have an ego, a drive, a passion, and she was going to brag about being the greatest thing to ever step foot on your television. That was the plan of the GOAT character, I call it. She shows you, talks about it, brags about that she is the greatest thing to ever hit your television. That's it. That is the lore behind the GOAT character. And I'm gonna give y'all some advice for people that are universe mode creators. If you want to create an established heel, you want to create someone that the fans will adore, that the fans will never not get behind, and the fans that are going to invest in them, you got to give them charisma. You got to give your heel charisma. You got to give your heel a passion. You got to give your heel a why. Why are they doing this? What's the motive behind it? And as a heel, you're supposed to walk a certain way. You're supposed to have them talk a certain way. They're supposed to do certain movements as a heel. It's all about the presentation. And I think that Bayley, besides a lot out of a few, Bayley is probably the best presenting heel I've ever made in this series. And I have made a lot of heels. King Dar is being another prime example of presentation. King Dar, and we'll talk about him in a later universe mode lore video, the reasoning behind him and his presence and all that stuff like that. And this is supposed to be like lore of the old lore of the series, but this is how I thought about it. And this series will give you the lore of CTP, but it will also give you advice for people that are in the universe mode community. I highly recommend you guys watch these videos. Okay, King Dar, just to be a prime example of what a heel is supposed to be. It's about the presentation. The look matters. And I think I did a great job with Bayley's look. I think I did a great job with Batista look. The presentation, the music, the way they came out, the way that they carried themselves made them stand out on television. And when you seen them, it was a big deal. When you seen Batista, you knew that it was about to go down. When you seen Bayley, you knew that something's about to go down and you can't miss it. That was the purpose. That was the motivation behind the heel turn. If you're going to make people heel, and like Bayley, who has never been a heel, but up and at the time, I turned her heel before WWE ever even thought about it. I didn't have a basis of a Bayley heel. I didn't. I had to figure it out on my own. And with the GOAT character, the catchphrases, the album, singing about herself, being the egotistical woman that she is, everything built upon each other for both of those characters, where they were the best things on SmackDown in season 6. And that's exactly what you have to do. You have to build up your heels. You had to give them motivation. You had to give them purpose. Look at Finn Balor in season 7 to be example. For an example, look at the purpose that he has behind him. Look at the way he carries himself, the way he performs, the way he does his motions, the way he does his movements, the way he talks. A heel is supposed to have everything, because the body of presentation matters. And the CTP fans, and I gotta give y'all credit, back in season 6, season 5, y'all liked the way that they were presented. I presented Bayley as, when you see her, you are seeing the greatest thing that you ever stepped foot in her mind. And when you see Bayley in her mind, you are seeing the greatest thing to ever step foot in a ring. And that is exactly how she was carried. You are seeing greatness. You are seeing manifestation is real. You are seeing the God of wrestling. And when Batista came out, he was all Hollywood. He was all, I'm here for the money, and that's it. You don't see me unless I'm paid. You don't see me unless it's a big deal. I don't defend this championship unless I have multiple zeros going in my bank account. It was two distinct heels in season 6, and that's what makes Friday Night SmackDown so much watchable, so great. Is you have two dynamic characters, and that's how you're supposed to book heels. Your heels are not supposed to sound the same, act the same, look the same, be presented the same. Your heels are supposed to have foundations where they're different. Their character's supposed to be different. Their motivation is supposed to be different, because having a dynamic television show is what makes a universe mode so damn good. Just think about the great universe modes we've had with the Merce YT13s of the world, the MathWiz 97Xs of the world. I mean, just to name a few, when Project was doing it, when I can't name names. I'll even throw in the hat J&W Boss, J Dog, Gabe Keith, Expert Gaming. Just take a look at the foundations of what Expert Gaming's doing. Shout out to him with his heels. That's quality television. I can go back and look at Experts Raw and SmackDown and see that his heels on both shows do not act the same. If you're having 3 brands, 2 brands, 1 brand, whatever, how many brands you're doing of a series, your heel's supposed to act different on each show. And the dynamic of Bayley and Batista really made CTP take off in season 6. And I am so proud of what they have done, the stories that were told with those two characters. And if you guys want to go back and watch that, I absolutely recommend you go back and watch it. Some of those episodes and some of the matches that they had, the feud with Sasha Banks, Batista versus Finn Balor, Batista versus AJ Styles, Batista versus Brock Lesnar, the triple threat World Heavyweight Champion, WWE Championship match at TLC with Batista, Brock Lesnar, and AJ Styles. That was a damn good match. A damn good story, a damn good feud. Batista tussled with them all, and he was on top of the world. And eventually his comeuppance got there. Adam Cole finally got his revenge. He finally got the WWE Championship. At the end of the day, it was a great story that was told. But When you book yourself in a corner, when you need a heel, get creative. That's exactly what I did. I need a heel on my television show with Bayley. My women's division was getting stale. I needed something to carry us. After Paige was pretty much done in the games, I didn't have my barrier. I didn't have the carrier of the series. She was gone. Sasha Banks had to be that chick next. Bayley had to be the heel, the top heel, to coordinate Sasha Banks being the top face. That's what I did. That's why everything happened the way it happened. That's the lore behind these two characters and the dynamics that these two characters had. When you're both in the corner, you get creative. And that's exactly what I did. I got creative when I made the Bayley character, describing her from the motivations to the presentation to the look, the way she felt, the way she carried herself, everything. The movements was changed. I went and I changed movesets. I made the greatest woman of all time elbow an impactful finisher. Because when that hit, you knew it was over. Batista, same way, when he hit that Batista bomb, that was the killer's finisher back then. When that Batista bomb and Spirit combo hit, no one kicked out of that. That was it. 1, 2, 3, lights out. And that's what you need to do with your heels. Make them feel important. That's exactly what I did with these two characters. If you guys enjoyed the universe mode lore and the stories behind the motivation behind these two characters and the stories that were told and the fun facts about the CTP series, leave a like on this video, comment down below if you were down in this era, what was your favorite Bayley and Batista moments as the greatest woman of all time and Lace Tista? Lace Tista, I gotta go a little bit more with that one. Lace Tista was a phrase that I came up with on commentary to describe the character of Batista. He only wrestled when the money was good, when he only wrestled when he was getting paid, whenever motivation was there. He didn't show up for weeks at a time because every time he showed up, it was an important thing. It was Brock Lesnar, but more back then in 2017, 2018, but a better version because he actually wrestled every month on pay-per-view. He just wrestled, he just had minimum appearances per month. That was the difference. I made Brock Lesnar IRA character into a much better thing because Batista had more charisma than Brock Lesnar did back then in 2017 and 2018. But that's about it. Like this video, subscribe down below. Our next Universe Mode lore video will be with the King Dar and the story of the NXT CW Championship. That's right, that was a championship back during Legends NXT. What was Legends NXT? I will let you guys know all that in our next Universe Mode lore episode, talking about the King Dar character, the development of the King Dar character from season 6 and into season 7, and what's next for King Dar. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in the next episode, and we'll talk about the era of the NXT CW Championship. What the hell was that? What the hell was I thinking? All of that will be discussed in the next CTP Universe Mode lore episode. If you guys enjoyed this, once again, like, subscribe, share. WrestleMania London is coming soon. Make sure you guys check out our community tab for our polls that have been posting almost every single day since October of WrestleMania matches. Vote for your matches as stories are being explained in those polls. Key details about the show is being explained in those polls. I will have more information on WrestleMania when I get it. Please be patient. We're almost there. I've been your host, Coltrane. This has been CTP Universe Mode Lore, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Be phenomenal or be forgotten.